how to overcome my fear of doing it, because it is scary. I thought there would be slightly more comment because I was a woman, and in fact there was none. My job is something called a reader, which is a senior academic.
She'll always push herself. New things to do, new boundaries to get to.
This is the bike that I'm racing this year. This is a Honda RS125. Last year I started the season racing a 400, but after the trip to America, where I was lent a TZ125, me and my husband decided that I would give a 125 a go. Now, what you have to realise is, that's me there, looking absolutely terrible. I'm a member of an internet forum called fireblades.org, which was set up by an American, and last year they decided to get together and meet each other face to face at a track day, and they made the amazingly generous offer that if any British people wanted to go over, and there were only 3 British members at the time, they would lend them a bike. They were so generous and kind with their time, and true to form, they had lent me a bike. They lent me a TZ125, and when we were there, some of the people actually took video and they sent it to me on a CD, and this is it.
She always springs these surprises on me. One minute we're going to Australia, the next minute we're going abroad on our bikes, and then the next minute we're going to America.
The 400 and the 125 are worlds apart. There's no engine braking on a 125, and if you don't keep it within just the power band, it just bogs down. And I've been a 4-stroke rider for a very long time, and that's been a lot for me to learn.
She likes to win, she likes to compete. She pushes herself all the time, no matter what she does really. From her singing to her playing to her racing, everything she does really.
I also run a choir. I do competitions. I've won some prizes, some nice big cups. One of the things that you do in singing is you set up the next phrase by how you have sung the previous phrase. Riding on a track is like singing because you're setting something up. One corner sets up another. I'm now a reader, which is one step below a professor at UMIST in Manchester, one of the Manchester universities. My job involves a mixture of lecturing and research. This guy is Ben Bostrom, who's an American rider who was in the Grand Prix for some time, and I just can't believe this lean angle. I put together a lecture on the physics of motorbikes which concentrates on cornering and why the bike doesn't fall over in a corner. Most people get their knee down. This man actually has his elbow on the ground. And we're going to look at this picture and we're going to understand the forces in it to see why the bike doesn't just fall on top of him, why it keeps going round.
I think she wants to prove that she can be as good, if not better, than anybody else. But whatever she does, she gives it 110%.
I can do things like take a day off to practice on a Wednesday afternoon if I want to at Mallory, as long as I've reached my long-term targets, which is very helpful. I don't have to explain to anybody where I'm going.
Yeah, the guys that come on a Wednesday, they're your race lads from starting out with club level, right up to the World, the Grand Prix, Superbikes, World Superbikes. We get them all here. Hello! They've got a little bit, well, some of them, they've got a lot more now, so they know what they're doing. They're here for a purpose. Cheers, my dears. Nice try.
I've got a lot to learn. There's nothing like learning to race than track time, and I just need lots of track time. I would say that the club members take very little notice of the fact if you're a woman or not. They're much more likely to take notice of you if you're really slow and dangerous. And then you could be a male or female, and if you're a danger to other people, then that's more of an issue for them. I was 43 when I did my first race. And I got into it because we have friends who race, who are very experienced. They've done it for 20 years and they're very good. They're very high up at club level. My hubby wasn't that keen to start off with. Why can't you just do track days, he said. And he's much happier now I'm on a smaller bike.
I felt okay really, and starting doing track days. I thought it was a lot safer for her to go out on a race bike. We really enjoy it, and both of us do.
The first test day I did this year was at Alton Park. There's a really long pit wall you can stand up. And my husband's very chatty and friendly, and he likes talking to people, and he struck up a conversation with the lady he was standing next to.
And I said to her, is your husband out or your boyfriend racing? She says, no, it's my husband.
And she turned to my husband, she said, is it your son that you're watching?
I says, no, it's the wife. She went, oh my God.
I soon also thought that track days were a waste of time. I actually remember just doing my third track day, going round and round the tarmac, thinking, why am I going round and round the tarmac? I needed a goal. I needed to know how fast I'd gone and then think, well, I can do better than that next time. And I love the element of competition. I think I'm probably a very competitive person in whatever I do.
The difference between the track day and the test days, on the track day, they're much more interested in coming and having a bit of fun. On a day like today with the test day, obviously they're more interested in getting the maximum amount of speed out of the bikes that they possibly can. On the first lap of the first session of every group, you'll be led round by the van. He'll keep it steady so you can keep up with him, and he'll pull in. You think I'm joking. They tend to spend more time with tyre pressures, suspension setups, etc, etc, and obviously keep looking at the clocks just to see what every little adjustment does.
This is more professional. People are here to test their bikes, test the suspension. Been on a few track days. Problem can be that you get riders who think they can be good on a track, but basically not sure where they're going, taking strange lines, sometimes pushing people off.
The track day accidents tend to be of a lower speed. A little bit of inexperience, touch the front brake and maybe just drop the bike. Fortunately, it's very rarely any serious injury. On the test days, the accidents tend to happen at a rather faster rate of knots.
I prefer the track days. The entry fee for the half day here at the moment is £40 each. You've got from 1:30 till 5 o'clock.
It's about £30 difference, but you're getting from 9 in the morning till 4:30 at night. It's worth the money, definitely, to come on a track day, and it is to come on a practice day.
Like coming here, you've got about 3 sessions. If the red flag it, that's your session finished. So sometimes you can get 25 laps in, 30 laps, but sometimes you can go as little as 15.
You're getting more time for the extra 30 quid, you're getting a whole day's worth of the track. You can get 120 laps in a day.
This year, because I'm on the new bike, I've decided to do about 3 test days per race. So I'll do 3 test days and then race, 3 test days and then race, because it's all about track time. And there's all sorts of other things that are absolutely critical that I haven't realised, and I've had lots of problems this afternoon. First of all, we turned up, and it's very warm today, and it overheated because I've got too much tape on the radiator, and the radiator couldn't cool down quick enough. And then somebody pointed out, which is completely my fault, that I've got the wrong rear sprocket on for this circuit, so we had to change the rear sprocket. So that made a huge difference. And all these things are really critical, and it's just not so important on a bigger bike.
admire every single person that does it. It doesn't matter to me what position they come in, it doesn't matter to me what position I come in. You've overcome so much to get that far. I mean, sitting on the start line is probably the scariest thing I've ever put myself through. And yet I've overcome it, and so has everybody else. My favourite track is Donington. I think I've probably been there more than anywhere else. I like tracks that flow. I'm not good on very tight corners, although I must improve this year.
My initial thoughts when I first got it out on the track was, I can't do this! What have I done?
Well, she's ridden bikes for over 20 years. This racing is quite new to her.
The bike I've got is a Honda RS125, so it's a dedicated race bike.
It's such a foreign animal to me because I was a four-stroke rider for such a long time. I went around the track and I thought, I absolutely hate this. Can I have my money back?
She needs to move around a lot more on the bike, you know. She needs to get her confidence a bit more.
And then I went out and I carried on going out, and by about the third day out, which is a lot of track time, I was beginning to think I understood what the bike was all about. That's the point. You've got to understand what the bike does. And now I'm beginning to feel really at home on it, although it still surprises me. It does help a little bit in my mind that I've studied the theory, if you like, because I understand why these impossible angles are possible. So, like, it's sort of at the end of the straight just now, I thought, I know it'll do it, stick it in and go, and it did. I thought, phew. I don't believe how much fuel we had in there. It's one single split pin to take the whole of the petrol tank off. And road bikes are 2 bolts at the front and 1 at the back, and then somebody else has got to hold it up because you've got to get your hand underneath to disconnect X, Y, Z. And this is just designed to come apart. If you run out of petrol, you say you've broken down. And it's nice not to carry so much weight around. If Honda have bothered to make it 70 kilograms, then it's pretty stupid having loads of fluid sloshing around. Is that right? Shall I turn it on? That would help, wouldn't it?
Well, you don't want it.
The other difference is that it's very, very small. I'm only about 5'3", and I am having trouble curling up on it. You know, you ride with your toes on the foot pegs to get your knee out. And I see some of these bigger guys on the 125, I think, how are they fitting on it? You really have to scrunch up. It's a very radical riding position.
I worry about somebody knocking her off, but her own ability as rider, I think she's okay at that.
I'm very realistic about what I can achieve in racing. At the moment, I want to stay on. I want to improve my personal lap times, and I want to get more towards the middle of the field. I'm never going to win a championship. I'm too old. I'm in the 125 class. They're 17. No fear. Take brains out and go.
I'm Alex Jenkins, I'm 16 and racing a Honda 125.
Alex first started in mini motos 3 years ago. We met a lot of other people who then decided they were going 125 and encouraged Alex to do the same thing.
Nutrition is vital, but being an ex-racer, I can eat to get away with it because the kids can't. Put up there, look.
Go on. Go on. We first met Mark at Pembrey, and he saw Alex in the novice race, and Alex actually finished second in his first day and won it the second day.
Oh, your knees clicking, you're worse than me.
He said, you know, do you want to go on a track day kind of thing? And that's how we got to know him then.
I'm absolutely busted for a wee, so if you don't mind, I'm going to have a wee and then we'll have a chat. Is that all right? We're at Mallory Park today for the New Era Super Club Championship. There's some good lads here who are probably just on the back or midfield at British Championship level. It's the first time Alex has ventured into this sort of category. It's a bit of a jump for him really, maybe even a little bit too early.
He knows what he's doing, he's had lots of experience and he's very fast.
If I can get 5-6 seconds out of him today and get him down to a minute or under a minute, that'll be great. I would estimate in the weather conditions today that the 125s will be winning races here in about 56 seconds.
Yeah, we walked around the track and he showed me all the lines you should be going and when to accelerate, when to brake, when to corner, how to corner, where you should be on the track.
Go on, get up there! Go on, get up there! The problem we've got today is the wind's really blowing quite strongly. With any motorcycle, the faster you go, the lighter it is. The entry into Gerrard's is well over 100 miles an hour, so the bike probably only weighs 3 or 4 pound contact patch on the floor. There's been a few crashes at Gerrard's this morning already. I suspect a lot of that's down to the wind. He does listen to what I tell him in fairness, and hopefully we'll make a big improvement today.
Obviously Super Club round is a lot, the boys are a lot faster here. It helps you like drag you along and you think, oh, tag on the back of him like and it'll pull you along and you go faster and faster.
103.88. 103.
His actual confidence is picking up slowly, but then all of a sudden the confidence has really come in now over the last couple of meetings. Obviously that's why his times have come down as well.
102 again. One thing on a bike is everything should be the same for both arms. Unless you've got one arm longer or shorter than the other, then get them right. And that makes riding the bike that much easier. At the moment, Alex has been complaining about a sore right hand. I'm not making no jokes there, but it should cure that though.
We moved the brake lever down slightly as well, which helps the palm of your hand. Because when you're braking hard, like obviously all the weight's on the front, and you tend to hurt your hand a bit. So we adjusted a couple of things and it's not so bad now, it's all right.
So it's just take your measurements once you've got it set up right, and don't be frightened to play around with things. You know, just by moving the handlebars out more, I'll give you more leverage. So if you're just struggling through slow corners, spread the bars, get more leverage, the bike will turn easier. Bikes haven't got to be set to how they come out the factory, alter things to make it fit you.
When you've got slicks and intermediate on, there's a difference in gearing. Like obviously for a newcomer like me, I wouldn't really know that. There's a height difference in the tyres, which means you have to go up a gear when you've got slicks on.
As a rule of thumb, one tooth up on the back will give you the same sort of speed.
And little things like that, they make you go a little bit faster, and then you always know that, and you'll never forget. To have that advantage, it obviously helps.
It'll probably take us 6 months working together before Alex will feel really comfortable enough for me to just, to let rip and just become his natural self. 59 seconds, that was the first lap you broke a minute on. Next one was your 58.97, 59.39, and that was it, that was your race over. You've gone from 106 to 58 seconds, 8 seconds gain. I'd say that was a pretty good weekend's work. Just to do a bit of practice on your starts, but if you can start knocking in good consistent laps like this, that batch there, you'll be winning races.
Proud to be taking part. That this is a real girly moment, but the first race I did was at Cadwell and I survived, and Cadwell's dangerous and I was horribly last, but I mean it didn't matter, I'd got a signature and I'd done it. And when the checkered flag came, and it was just for me, I actually rode round in tears after that checkered flag because I'd done it.
She's not thrashing it to an inch of its life at the moment, but she's getting there.
One of the biggest reasons I have heard for giving up, though, is, oh, I was rubbish. Which is a shame, because if they stuck at it, there wouldn't be any more.
That's it! My first race! I've done it! I've done it! I've raced on a 125 without a novice vest. Very important. I wasn't lost either, and I was racing when I was out there. I've got that guy, and I got him again as well. And it's brilliant, and I've made a decision. I'm going to stick with this bike. I'm going to race this bike all year, loads of track time, learn to do it properly, because I've made loads of mistakes out there, but I've done it! Next year, I would like to try and really push it to get a national licence. Just so that when I'm old and grey, I can say I had a national licence, you know.
If you're serious about biking, you can't afford to miss it. Warren Pole and Francesca Robinson bringing you everything you need to know about two wheels, next on Men and Motors Bikes.